we are discussing Power Query. So I discussed about transform tab options. In the Power Query, we discussed about transform tab options. Let me close this. So yesterday, let me open Power BI Desktop. Let me open Power BI Desktop. Let's go to Power Query. Let me close all this. For 9 a.m. we are discussing Power Query. Today we want to discuss about add column tab options. So yesterday we discussed about transform tab options. Today we need to go and discuss about add column tab options. Add column tab options. Add column tab options. So yesterday I shared one video. Anybody have any questions from that video? I shared one video about text, number and date column transformations. Anybody have any questions about that video? Fine, let me bring some tables from Excel. Press OK. So let's go to transform tab. We discussed about all the options in the transform tab. Now we need to discuss about add column tab. Add column tab. So in the add column tab, so you are seeing column from examples. We know about it. We already discussed about column from examples. We discussed about custom column. So we need to discuss about invoke custom function. We need to discuss about it. So first let's go and discuss about invoke custom function. Invoke custom function. What is this invoke custom function? What we will do here, we'll discuss. Click on use first choice header and go to the returns table. Click on use first choice header. Let me bring EMP DEPT table also. There is an option called invoke custom function. What is this option? When we will use it, let me explain. So every GUI option what you have is a predefined function, guys. Conditional column is there, right? It is already one function. It has some logic. Merge columns you have, right? It is already one function. It has some logic. Every GUI option in the Power Query is a predefined function. It will have some logic. So invoke custom function. We're trying to discuss about invoke custom function. We're trying to discuss about invoke custom function. So every GUI option is a predefined function, guys. Every GUI option in Power Query is one function. Is one function. So every GUI option has some logic. Look at this here. When I want to convert customer name to uppercase, I want to convert the customer name to uppercase. To convert this customer name to uppercase, you need to use a function called uppercase. This is a GUI option. It's one function. So it have one logic. When you select any column, when you go and click on uppercase, that column will be converted to the uppercase. It has some logic. It has some logic. Select this, go to the transform, go to the format, click on uppercase. Every GUI option, every GUI option in Power Query is one function. There are some cases where we need to do some transformation in the Power Query. where you don't find a GUI option for it. So I have a requirement. I have a requirement where I need to transform some data. Transform some data. So when I want to transform some data, if I have a GUI option, I can use it. Take an example. I have a requirement here where I need to transform some data, but I don't find the GUI option. So when you don't find it, you need to go and write your own M language code. When you don't find any option to get an output, we need to go and write our own M language code. So where we can write our own M language code is go to add column, click on custom column. You can write your own M language code. Using that, you can transform the data. There are some cases where we cannot achieve the transformation requirement using the GUI options. So there are some cases where we cannot achieve the requirement. There are some cases where we can achieve the requirement there are some cases where we cannot achieve the requirement using the GUI options which are already available, GUI options which are available in the Power Query. Yes, then we need to go and write a custom code. You need to go and write your own M language. To achieve it, we need to write our own M language code. To achieve it, we need to write our own M language code, guys. Own M language code. We need to go and write our own M language code to transform the data. So take an example. There are some cases where we need to use the same logic in many places. I need to use the same transformation logic. Understand, guys? There are some cases where we need to achieve some transformation logic, some requirement. So to achieve that requirement, where I don't have a GUI option. When I don't have a GUI option to achieve that requirement, how can I get it? To achieve it, we need to write our own M language code. So when I want to use the same logic in many places, I want to write the M language code again and again. If I want to use that same requirement in any places, I want to write that M language code again and again. Instead of that, what we can do is, so whatever the M language code you want to use it in many places, whatever the M language code we need to use in many places, with that M language code, create one custom function and use that custom function whenever you need it. Whenever you need it. What is the purpose of this invoke custom function is, invoke custom function is used for using the custom functions which we created. When we need to create a custom function is whenever we need to use some ETL logic in many places, whenever we need to use an ETL logic in many places, create a custom function using the ETL logic. Create a custom whenever we need to use an ETL logic in many places. Create a custom function and use it whenever you need. Create a function, custom function, and use it whenever we need. So, or else let me write it. Create a custom function using that ETL logic, and whenever you need it, use it. So simple, guys. Whenever we need to use some ETL logic in many places, create a custom function using that ETL logic and use that custom function whenever we need it. And use that custom function whenever we need it. You don't need to write again and again. And use that custom function. Use that custom function whenever we need it, guys. right? Simple. Whenever we need to use an ETL logic in many places, see, if there is any GUI option readily available, I can start using it. Merge columns, there is a GUI option already available. Take an example, it is not there. Merge columns GUI option is not there. So in many places I want to combine 3 columns, 4 columns, I want to combine it. So when you want to combine it, you want to write code again and again manually. Instead of writing the code again and again manually, with that code, I can go and create one custom function. And I can use that custom function whenever I need it. So if you want to use that custom function, you need to use an option called invoke custom function. Invoke custom function is used for calling the custom functions. If you create any custom functions, you can see here. We can create some custom functions here. And if you want to use that custom function, you can use invoke custom function. Invoke custom functions are used to call the custom functions. Is used to call the custom functions. What are the custom functions we created to call them? We'll use it, guys. Right? The next one is, let me see, it is not mandatory, guys. Very rarely we will create the custom function and very rarely we might use it. So if there is a logic where you are writing again and again in Power Query in 10 places, in every 10 place, instead of writing it, just create one custom function and use it. That is simple, guys. Take an example, a dummy example I'll give it. Here I have salary, commission and department number. I want to add 2 columns. I have 3 number columns. In many places I have 3 columns, guys. I have in many places I have 3 columns, guys. 3 columns. What I need to do is with the 3 columns, I want to add 2 columns. Column 1 I need to add with column 2, and I need to multiply that result with column 3. So many places I want to take 3 columns, I want to add 2 columns, the result I need to multiply with 3 columns. In many places whenever you need it, so do you have any option where you can add 2 columns and where you can add 2 columns, where you can multiply with 3rd column? When I go to add column, only 2 columns here. Go to the standard, I can add it. I cannot multiply with 3rd column. I cannot multiply with 3rd column. I cannot. So just select this, click on add. When you click on add, you'll get addition. Before adding, let me replace null values with 0. Go to the home tab, replace values. Wherever null values are there, replace with zeros. Just 1 second. Fine. So if you observe here, I want to add these 2 columns, salary plus commission column. Select these 2 columns. In one step, you need to add them, and then you need to multiply this result. You need to multiply with this column. You need to do it in 2 steps. If you want to get this result, you need to do it in 2 steps. Instead of doing in 2 steps, if you want to get it in 1 step, you need to write your own code. You need to go to add column, click on custom column. You need to go to custom column, you need to write own code. You can write like this. You can add salary column. You can take salary column plus commission column. Salary column and commission column. The result I need to multiply with the department number column. Every time you need to go and manually write it. When I press OK, I'll get that result in a new column. Every time I need to manually write it. So instead of that, in many places, I want to take 3 columns as the input, 2 columns I need to add it, 3rd column I need to multiply it. What we can do is, the best way, we can create, with that logic, we can create one custom function. So this custom function, what it need to do is it need to take 3 number columns as the input. 3 number columns as the input. Once it take 3 number columns as the input, it need to sum number 1 plus number 2, and it need to multiply with number 3, guys. Number 3. So that in such a way you need to create one logic here in the custom function. Whenever you need to perform this logic, you need to use that custom function using invoke custom function option. Invoke custom function option. Let's do that now. How to create a custom function? I'll show you. So invoke custom function, when I click on it, invoke custom function is just to use the custom function. So you need to select a function query. Basically, we'll write the custom function code in a function query. We'll write the custom function code in a function query. So how to get it? How to write it? Right click on it, new query. So you need to write a new query. Right click on query span, new query. You need to go to blank query, and blank query is the place where you need to go and write custom M language code, custom function M language code. So one way to get the blank query is new source, blank query, or else right click on it, new query, blank query. Any option is fine. Click on this, click on blank query. So f of x is nothing but a function code. You want to start writing the function code, you need to start with equal to, guys. First, you need to define the parameters. This function want to take what parameters as the input? My function which I'm going to create, it need to take 3 input parameters. First parameter is number 1, and what data type? It need to use number data type. Number 1 as number data type, comma, number 2 as number data type, and the third parameter is number 3 as number data type, guys. Number data type. So sorry, so third parameter is number 3. So my function need to take 3 parameters. First parameter is number 1. What kind of values it need to allow? Number values. Second parameter is number 2. What kind of values it need to allow? Number values. Number 3. What kind of values it need to allow? Number values. So once you take 3 number columns as the input, what I need to do with that? So what output you need to do? You need to write it after equal to, greater than symbol, guys. And you need to write what output that function need to take. Okay, this function need to take 3 columns as the input. Once it take the 3 columns, what you need to do with that? You need to write it here. What you need to do with that is, so I need to add number 1 plus number 1 column, I need to add it plus with number 2. Number 2. And that result, I need to multiply with what? Number 3. That's it, guys. In this function, whatever I need to pass in number 1 and number 2, I need to add them. And whatever we are passing in number 3, to that result, you need to multiply them. That's it, guys. It will create one function here. You can rename the function. You can right click on it. You can rename this function, and you can give the name. The function name, I'm giving it as number 1 plus number 2 into number 3. Now, wherever you want to use this logic, you can just go and use it. In EMP table, so you don't want to go and do it in 2 steps now. Addition once, multiplication once. You don't want to go and write your own code again and again. What you can do? You can just go and add column, click on invoke custom function. Whenever I need to use invoke custom function, click on invoke custom function. Which function? Number 1 plus number 2 into number 3 function. So here you can pass number values. You can pass hard-coded values. 1. For number 1, I'm passing 1. For number 2, I'll pass 2. For number 3, I'll pass 3. So what output you'll get? For number 2, I'll pass 2. For number 3, I'll pass 3. So what you will get? 1 plus 2 equal to 3. 3 into 3 equal to what? 9. So when you press OK, everywhere you will get 9 here. Everywhere you will get what? 9. Instead of that, you can even pass columns also. Invoke custom function. I want to use a custom function this, and I can even pass the column names also. I want to pass salary column as number 1, and I want to pass commission column as number 2, and want to pass department number column as number 3. Press OK. Look at this. In one go, you got it. Not only here, wherever you want to use this logic, you can go and use this logic using invoke custom function. So one thing here, only when you need to go and create invoke custom function is, there is some ETL logic where I need to use in many places. So instead of writing again and again manually, create one function with that ETL code. and use it whenever you want. Very rarely we will come across, but there are some projects where we need that kind of requirement. Then instead of writing code again and again in custom functions, I will store that code. I'll use it whenever I want. I'll use it whenever I want. Any questions? What is custom function? How to use them? How to create the custom function or how to use it? Anybody have any questions about that? Fine, guys. The next one is conditional column. Conditional column. So whenever you need to derive any conditional column here, let's assume I want to derive a dname column based on department number. Department number equal 10, sales. Department number equal 20, HR. Department number equal 30, marketing. And department number is other than 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, I need unknown. So I want to derive one new column called dname column based on department number column, a conditional column. You can just click on conditional column. On which column I want to derive what? Dname. Based on which column I need to write the condition? Department number column. Department number equals to 10. What I need in the output? Sales. Add class. Department number equals to 20. What I need in the output? HR. Add class. Department number equal to 30. What I need in the output? Marketing. And add class. So you don't want to add any class, guys. When it is not 10, when it is not 20, when it is not 30, else unknown department. I need to give it as unknown department. As soon as I press OK, it will derive a conditional column. Wherever department number equal to 10, it is writing as sales. Wherever department numbers are 20, it is writing as HR. Wherever it is 30, writing as marketing. When it is other than 10, 20 and 30, it is writing as unknown. Whenever we need to derive any conditional column, I have a salary column here. I want to derive a salary range column based on salary column. When salary values are less than 1,000, low salary. Greater than or equal to 3,000, high salary. When it is between, medium salary. Medium salary. How can you get it? Select the salary column, go to add column, click on conditional column. So I want to derive a salary range column. On which column? Salary column. If salary value is less than 1,000, what do you want? I want low salary in the output. Add class. Else if salary value is greater than or equal to 3,000. Starting from 3,000, greater than 3,000. I want to write it as high salary. Else medium salary. Press OK, guys. Press OK. So based on the salary value, it will give salary range. Whenever you need to write any conditional column like this, you can go and use conditional column. There are some cases where we need to add an index column. For the first row, I need to add number 1. For the second row, 2. Third row, 3, 4. I bought one table. In my source, I don't have column numbers. So row numbers, I don't have it. For each row, I need to give one unique number. Whenever there is a requirement where you need to give for each row one unique number, you can go and add index column, guys. You can go and add index column. So just go to the index column from 0. When I click on from 0, it will start the number starting from 0. It will increment by 1. It will increment by 1. So same way, index column from 1. When you click on from 1, it will start from 1. It will increment by 1. Starting from 1, increment by 1. And there is an option called custom index column. So starting from what? I need to start with 1001. Increment by what? I want to increment by 1. When I press OK, it will start the index column starting from 1001. It will increment by 1. 1001, 1002 like this. So whenever you need to add a unique column, an index column to the table, you can go and use index column, guys. We already used the duplicate column option, and I already shared a video about these options. We already discussed about this AI insights. In the home tab, you even find this AI insights. Ignore it. Ignore it. You don't want it. So the same options you can even have in the add column tab also. Add column. These are the different options you have in the add column tab. And next one is view tab. So frankly to speak, these three tabs will contains options which are related to development. So these three tabs will contains dummy options. You don't find any options which are related to development. So these three tabs will contains how you need to see the UI. I'm seeing this UI, right? In this UI, do you want to show this formula bar or not? If you want to stop showing this formula bar, this complete one is UI. In UI, what you need to show, what you don't want to show, you can control in view tab. In the UI, what you need to show, what you don't want to show, you can control in view tab. If I don't want to show formula bar, I can just uncheck this. When I uncheck this, I'm not seeing the formula bar here. When I want to bring that formula bar back again, check this, you'll get it. So if I don't want to show query settings pane, I don't want to show it, just go and click on this query settings pane. Now I'm not seeing it. If I want to bring it back, click on it again, click on it again. So mono-spaced white spaces. Now you are seeing some text here, right? If you want to change the style of this text here, if you want to change the style of the text here, you can go with mono-spaced or you can go with show white spaces. When I click on mono-spaced, you'll see text style is changing. Text style is changing. That's it. It is adding some spaces. Mono-spaced and show white space is also related to text only, guys. So column quality. So what is this column quality is? When you select column quality, it will tell you how many valid records are there in a column. So how many error records are there? How many empty records are there? If you look at the manager column, 93% are valid records, 0% are error records, and empty records 7%. 7% of records are empty. So it will give the quality of the column. In your column, what is the quality of the data? It will tell you. And then column distribution. So once after the column quality, you have column distribution. When you go with column distribution, in a column, how many distinct values you have, how many unique values you have, it will show. In job column, I have 6 different jobs. 6 different jobs are there. 6 different jobs are there. 6 jobs are there. 6 different jobs are there. Analyst, clerk, manager, president, salesman, trainer. 6 jobs are there. And out of 6, how many unique jobs are there? If you look at this, trainer is only one time available. It is unique. No other person have a job with the name trainer. And same way, president also unique. So 6 are jobs, total jobs, distinct jobs. 6 jobs I have here. Managers are repeating. Analysts are repeating. Salesmen are repeating. And clerk is repeating. What are the thing it is not repeating? President is not repeating, one unique, and trainer is not repeating, another unique. Another unique. Remaining all are repeating. So in a column, how many distinct values are there? How many unique values are there? It will tell you when you go with column distribution. When you go with column profile, it will completely give some statistics about that column. In that column, how many count is there? Is there any error records are there? Any empty records are there? How many distinct values are there? How many unique values are there? Empty strings. Is there any empty strings are there? So when based on ASCII keywords, analyst is having a less one and trainer is having maximum one. So when you select any column, salary column also, it will give some statistics. Column profile, it will completely read the values in that column. It will give some statistics here. So in that, how many count of values are there? What is the minimum number we have there? What is the maximum number we have there? What is the average of salary? So like this, it will give some statistics, guys. How many even numbers are there? How many odd numbers are there? When you select any columns, it will give some statistics. What is the maximum date? What is the minimum date? What is the minimum date? So how many distinct dates are there? Something like this. When you select any column, it will completely do the profiling on that column. Uncheck this. And we know about this go to column. I want to go to region column. I want to filter the data in the region column. Whenever I need to filter the data in the region column, how can I filter it? Whenever I need to filter the data in the region column, I can go, So I want to go to region column. I need to filter the data. Go to column, just go and click on region, press OK. When I press OK, I'll go to the region column. I can go and filter the data. Whenever you want to jump to one column in the orders table, I want to go to order date column. Just click on go to column, click on order date column, press OK, press OK. And there is an option called always allow parameters. So there is a concept called parameters here, right? So if you want to create a parameter, first you need to go here, you need to create a parameter, and then you need to use that parameter while filtering the data or something else, right? Instead of this, so you can directly create the parameters here, region column. So I want to filter the data by creating a parameter. Instead of going to the home tab, instead of creating a parameter, instead of using that, I can directly go here. I can start creating a parameter equals to, it will show you to create a parameter here itself. It is opening the window. Do you want to provide a provision to allow them to create a parameter directly here? So if you want to allow it, check this box. By default, this checkbox will be on, guys. Always allow creating the parameters in that column level. So if you uncheck this, I unchecked it. When I go here, it will not allow me to create a parameter here. Look at this. Previously, it shows me to allow a parameter, to create a parameter here. So now it is not allowing me. So if you check this again, you can directly create a parameter from here. So it is not that much great option. If you want to allow people to create a parameter here itself, it will allow, guys. So by default it is checked, leave it as it is. Advanced data. If you want to see the complete M language code on any table, I have a lot of steps here. I want to see what is the M language code it is writing for all the steps in one place. I can go to advanced data. I can see the complete M language code on the table. What M language code it is writing for each steps, how many steps I have, I can see it. I can see it. Then query dependencies. So I want to delete this function. If you want to delete this function, first you are using this function in EMP table. If you are using this function in EMP table, it is not possible to delete. Look at this, right click on it, delete. It will not allow you. Why? Because this function is used in some other table. I want to understand this function is used in how many different tables. I want to check it. When you click on query dependencies, you can see the dependencies, guys, here. Look at this, there is a function which we created. This function is used in this table. If I want to delete this function, first I need to stop using that function in this table. Then only you can delete it. So, and once you derive any table here, I derived EMP DEPT table. So using which tables it got derived, you can see the dependencies. You can see the dependencies, guys. It will show the dependencies. It will show query dependencies here. These are the different options we have on a view tab. There is no option which are related to development. All are just how I want to see this UI. Just how I want to see this UI, user interface. Right? Any questions about view tab? Fine. The next one is tools tab. In the tools tab, sometimes when you do ETL activities, when I click on close and apply, it might take a lot of time, guys. Take an example, I perform 10 ETL activities here. When I click on close and apply, it is taking 30 minutes of time. 30 minutes of time. I want to understand where is the problem. I just perform 10 ETL steps, but when I click on close and apply, to do the ETL operations, it is taking 30 minutes of time. So when it is taking more time, that means any one of this ETL step is taking more time. Any one of the ETL step is taking more time. I want to understand which ETL step is taking more time. If you want to understand which ETL step is taking more time, you can go here, go to the tools, you can start diagnosing it. Diagnostics. So when we will go to the diagnostic center for health checkup. So here also you perform multiple steps. What is the time it is taking? If you want to understand, you can diagnose the steps here. So there is first option called diagnose step. If you want to check one step how much time it is taking, So I created this. I want to check whether this is taking more time or not. Only one step. When I want to diagnose only one step, I can go with step diagnostic case. So if you want to get clear idea, this step is taking where, more time it is taking where, only this step. The step where it is taking more time. If I want to diagnose only one step, I can select the step. I can click on diagnose the step. When I click on diagnose the step, we'll get that step is taking how much time. It will split it, guys. It will split it and it will show some values here. When it is taking, where it is taking more time, it will show it. So instead of step diagnostics, so we always diagnose a session diagnostics. I want to understand which step is taking more time. When you want to understand, click on start diagnostics. Once after start diagnostics, so you need to refresh this table. Go to the home tab, click on refresh. Which table steps you need to diagnose? I want to diagnose EMP table. Just select EMP table, click on refresh preview. When I click on refresh preview, so it will execute all the steps. When I click on refresh preview, it will execute all the steps, and you need to go to tools again. You need to stop the diagnostics now. You need to stop it. When you stop it, it got given some tables. So when you go here, you have tables, and how many steps you have, you'll get it, and how much time it is taking, something like this. When you go here, it will tell you detailed steps. It contains 168 rows. I don't want that many, 112 rows. So when you go here, in this, how many different steps you have, it will show. It will show, and it will show what is the start time and what is the end time, and it will show. So you can go and check it here. If any one of the step is taking more time, you can check the time here. If any one of the start time and end time, it will give, it will tell how much time it is taking. So if you think that any one of the step is taking more time, you can look for an other alternative. There are some cases where some functionalities will take more time in Power Query. We can look for other alternative. What we need to do. So if you want to understand in any table, so when you do some ETL activities, when you click on close and apply, it is taking a lot of time. So if you want to check which step is taking time, you can go and do it using what? Diagnostics option, guys. Start the diagnostics. Which table? If I want to trace this 5 steps, which step is taking more time? First, you need to start the diagnostics, and you need to refresh this table. Go to the home, just click on refresh preview, and then go to the tools again, stop the diagnostics. You'll get some records here. Go and check it. Go and check it here. What are the steps you are performing, and when it is starting, when it is ending, how much time it is taking. If any one of the step is taking more time, go to that step and see which step is taking more time, and go and see some alternative for that step. See some alternative for that step. In help document, help tab, you will find help related documents, guys. Guided learning. So there are a lot of documents prepared by Microsoft, guys. When you click on this, it will take you to the page where you can start learning Power BI. Where you can start learning Power BI. And the next one is documentation. There are a lot of documents prepared by Microsoft. Training videos. It will take you to the YouTube channel where we have training videos related to Power BI. And you are working on Power BI and you need to take some support from Microsoft team. When I click on support, it will take to the support page where you can post your support question. You can create a ticket, support ticket. When you create a support ticket, Microsoft team will help you to resolve the ticket. Tomorrow when you are working in the company, you got stuck to achieve some requirement. You are not able to find the solution to get it. You can talk to the Microsoft team. They might help you. Right, like this. So if you want to see which version of Power BI you are using, when you go to about, you can see which version of Power BI I am using. And Power BI blogs, so community. There is a huge community for Power BI. If you post your question, the people will answer there. So like this, you have submit an idea, some other options, sample reports and dashboards. You can access it. Submit an idea. This is, you are expecting one future in Power BI, which will be helpful for many people. You have an idea, one future, so which is helpful for many people in the organization. So when it is helpful for many people, if you can submit an idea, people will vote for your idea. When most of the people vote for your idea, Microsoft will start developing that feature, and that will add there in their Power BI product. It will add. So like this, if you want to access some help related documents, you can go and access it from help tab, guys. There's 3 tabs. We don't work much, guys. These are the 3 tabs where we work as a Power BI developer mostly. In Power Query, this is the 3 tabs where we will work. This is all about Power Query, guys. So might be in the Power Query you might find lot of options, but when it comes to reality, when you're working in the projects, hardly we'll use 20-30 options. We'll use how many options? 20-30 options. There are some options which we repeatedly use: removing the columns, filtering the rows, and joining the tables. This kind of options we'll use repeatedly. So there are some options which we use very rarely, like creating custom functions using them, creating index columns using them. There are some options which might be used very rarely. There are few options which we used repeatedly, right? So we understand what are the options we have in the Power Query, how to bring the tables, we understand. After bringing the tables, how to transform the data using all the options based on our requirement, we understand. And once you are done with transforming, you can load the tables into the Power Pivot. Once you load the tables into the Power Pivot, what we will do in Power Pivot, we'll start discussing from tomorrow's class, guys. So anybody have any questions about Power Query?
Tomorrow we'll start the Power Pivot class or Power Query.
Yes. Power Pivot. We are done with Power Query.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi Sunil, this is Lokesh. Actually, suppose now we have applied lot of ETL steps in for the particular document, for particular file, right? Is there any possible to record all the ETL steps? And suppose if we have any another type of data, if we can apply with a single go,
we can do it. So I'll explain it. See, someone is asking, remaining how many days Power Query? What is that question, man? Hari, what you are understanding here? What is your question? Remaining how many days Power Query? What is that? What you are trying to ask? We are done with Power Query. Where do you have days? I said that we are done with Power Query. What is pending in Power Query? We discussed about all the Power Query things. There is no pending classes. We're done with Power Query. So someone is asking, I performed some steps in one table. I want to reuse that steps in another table. Happily you can use it, guys. Happily you can use it. So how to use it, I'll show you. So take an example. I have one CSV file here, D drive, Power BI material, Power Query, combined queries, append queries. Take an example. I have a table like this. Append files, not this. Append sheets. Not. Or let's take CSV files. All files. So take an example. I have April data CSV file. I'm bringing April data now. April data. Press OK. So when I bring April data, so on this April data, I'm doing some transformations. I'll do some transformations here. From transaction date column, I want to add year. I want to add from the same transaction date column, I want to derive quarter. From the same transaction date column, I want to derive day name of the day, and I want to convert customer name to uppercase. Go to the transform tab, format, click on uppercase. So for now, I did this on April month file. On April month file, we did lot of ETL activities. I want to do the same ETL activities on every month. I'll get a new file. So I want to do all the operations. Take an example, 20 ETL operations are there. I want to reuse all the 20 ETL operations in May month file also. So next month you got May month data. You need to go here. You need to bring that CSV file, May month file, and you need to do it manually, right? Instead of doing it manually, can I reuse the steps to this table also? Means yes, guys. So I said that whenever you need to reuse some ETL logic, this is all an ETL logic. This is an all ETL logic which you need to reuse for another table also. Another same formatted table. April month, I got the same table. May month also I got a table with same columns. I want to do all the ETL steps. Whenever you need to reuse a ETL logic, what you can do? You can create one custom function, right? You can create one custom function. We can use it. With this complete logic, I'll go and create one custom function. With this complete logic, how can we create one custom function is, just right click on this, you'll find an option called create function. So before you start creating the function, so in this, you need to have one parameter, guys. So if you have a parameter, then only you can create a function. Look at this, when I right click on it, when I click on create function, it will tell you no parameters found. If you want to create one function, you need to have some input parameters. For me, the input parameter is file path or table name or file path. So for now, April file. Tomorrow, for this function, I need to give May month file. I want to change the file path. So first you need to have the parameter, guys, in this table. How to create a parameter is, just let me go and copy this source and I'll create a parameter. This is the parameter. Press OK. So I'll create a new parameter. Click on new parameter. The parameter name is file path, and data type is text, and any value, current value is this path. Press OK. I am creating one parameter here. I'll use this parameter here. In the source, instead of hard coding file path, I'll pass it through parameter. Press OK. You'll get some values here. Now, in this, you have a parameter. Then you can convert it to a function. Create function. You can give the function name. I'll give the function name as file transformations. File transformations. Press OK. When I press OK, I'll get one function here. And to that function, I can just pass file path. I can just click on invoke. So I want to do all the transformations. What are the transformations I have done in this April month file? I want to do it with May month file. What you need to do is, you need to go to this function which you created here. You need to give the file path. So previously we did it for April month. I need to do it now for May month. Just go and click on May month and just click on invoke. When I click on invoke, it will take May month. On May month, it will do all the ETL steps, guys. Look at this. In one go, you got it. It take May month file. So in the May month file, all the customer names, it got converted to the uppercase. In the May month, it got derived the year. It got derived the quarter. It got derived the day name. Whatever you derived there, you got it. So you can even use it for June month also. Just you need to go here. Just give the file path. The June month file path is something like this. June. When I click on invoke, it will take the June month file, and look at this. This is the June month file. It will convert customers to uppercase. It will give the quarters, years, day names. You got it. In clicks, you can get it. So, or else, if you want to reuse this logic, you can even go to the advanced editor. Go to the advanced editor. There are many ways to copy that. You can go to the advanced editor. You can copy this text, and you can go and change the file path, guys. Just you can go and change the file path. Previously, you given some file path, right? You can go and change the file path, and it will even apply all the steps in the new file, guys. You can do it. There are many ways to do it. If you want to reuse some logic, so custom function is the best way. So just create one custom function with what logic you want and reuse it whenever you want. Reuse it whenever you want. It is the easiest way. Any other questions? With the practice you will get it. No worries at all. No worries at all. So just practice slowly. You don't want to do everything. When you join in the company, they don't ask you to do the things in 1 hour or 2 hours. They'll give you enough time to you to do the ETL work. Slowly when you are working, you'll get everything. Yes.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, today we done all these things now, sir.
Hmm.
I want tomorrow also open this logics without entering the data into Power Pivot. Is it possible, sir?
Without entering the data into Power Pivot, what is that question?
See, actually, the company have given 10 tables, sir.
Power query you need to say.
In Power Query, how to do some ETL activities, sir. Today I received 10 tables. The I done ETL activities for 5 tables. I don't want to upload into Power Pivot, but tomorrow from 5 tables, from 6th table I have to do the ETL work, sir. It is possible.
Yeah, you save this file and open the same file tomorrow, right? Just save this file, close and apply. Save this file in somewhere in your desktop and open it tomorrow.
Okay,
Save this
close
file.
and apply means it will go to Power Pivot only, right, sir?
Yeah, it will go to Power Pivot. Okay, what is the problem there?
Okay, sir.
You
No.
need to load it. If you want to save a file, you need to load it to Power Pivot. There is no other option.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
You need to save this file and you need to reopen this file tomorrow. You need to click on transform data. You will go to Power Query. You need to start resume your work from there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any questions? So let me publish these notes, guys. What is this? Add column tab options, guys. Add column, comma, add column, comma, view tab, comma, help tab options. Just save it in the desktop. Let me click on publish. I'll publish it to 9 a.m. workspace, guys. 9 a.m. Feb 2021 Power BI files. Click on select. Tomorrow we'll start with a new module, Power Pivot, an important module. So what is that? What you want? Something explaining about tabs. What you don't receive it, you need to download it from Power BI service. Download it from Power BI service. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.